Yeah, God, the hood already messed everything up. This was supposed to be a very serious intro, very somber. Normally we come in screaming, clapping, pounding tables, giving high fives. But tonight, as you can see, it is El Pastorino. It is Reverend Tom Corson. And we are performing an exorcism, a seance. I have a Ouija board. In the next room, I have a big old tub with my picks from the past 2 weeks. They are currently burning. I have a garlic necklace over here. I'm pulling out all the stops. This cannot continue. The exorcism is happening. I am in a very sterile room. This is symbolic. It is all clean. We are washing away our sins. We are washing away the L's. Life will spring anew. There it is.
Out of the darkness and through the ashes rises the phoenix, Cody.
That's right.
I am Reverend Corson. That's right. I am an ordained minister. I will be performing a wedding tomorrow. That's right. You heard it. By the power vested in me and the American Fellowship Church. I deem this show healed, Cody. No longer will our bets fall flat. No longer will injuries dictate an outcome. From here on out, the football gods shall be present on this show and on the field with us on Sundays and Mondays and even Thursdays.
And sometimes Fridays.
This ends now. Judgment Day has cometh, and it has been decided that we're going to be in the money. Bless your hearts and go in peace after the show. Fuck yeah, we're back.
I really wanted to open the show just by screaming, "The power of Christ compels you." But I was like, YouTube is probably going to flag that. And
I have blessed this wine.
And we're going to be using the body of Walido to cleanse the sins. We're going to be, you know what? I think what we need to do is we need to take Walido and we need to sacrifice him. We're going to make some Canadian bacon out of his candy ass. So
yeah,
we're getting right into it. We are no longer speaking of the past. It is on to week 4. It is prop talk. It is TFA. We are here. I'm kicking things off. I'm not even letting Tom get a chance at taking the wheel. My first one, we're going with an under, taking Chuba Hubbard under 53.5 rushing yards. Dallas has given up the 4th fewest rushing yards of running backs on the season. Now, that is a little thrown off, obviously, with last week. Philly forgot that you're allowed to run the ball, and there was a combined 3 carries between Miles and Kenny Gainwell. So it's a little thrown off, but I do think that this Dallas front is legit. They're getting Randy Gregory back. I don't quite understand the spread and on this game. Dallas right now is -4. I get it. The Panther defense has looked good, but let's not act like that they have been playing a murderer's row of offenses either. I think Dallas is going to get up early. I think they're going to have to abandon the run. So I'm, like I said, starting anew. We never talk about unders on this show. So I'm opening up with an under. We're letting the demons exercise themselves. They're flying through the windows. Chuba Hubbard under 53.5. But if you have FanDuel available to you, that number is at 55.5, I believe. So obviously, if you can get the extra 2 yards to take the under, I'm taking that. Chuba Hubbard under.
You said
Tommy.
under?
Under.
That's all right. I accidentally placed an over bet that I'll have to get fixed for you, Don't worry about that, guys.
Right.
We'll get it sorted out. It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't really know. I kind of blacked out after you said under. I was like,
Does
what
not
do we
compute.
do?
Is shutting
What do,
down.
what do we do? Yeah, I don't know, man. Shit. You're just going balls to the wall. Like, and you know what? Any name I fucking say, it's on the under anyway, so why not? That's basically where you're going with there.
Yeah, anytime I've been saying anything over for the past 2 weeks, those don't hit either. So under it is.
Yeah, so this isn't my first bet, but I'm just gonna hit on it because it's in that game. DJ Moore is finally up to where he should be at 79.5. He started at 73.5, went up to 77.5, and now he's at 79.5. So Vegas has obviously adjusted. That's one thing I was talking about, is they're a little bit slow on the uptick. Last year, Calvin Ridley, I think, won like his first 8 weeks or something. I'm still going to bet DJ Moore until he loses. Fuck it, El Cotorino.
El Pastorino.
I'm sorry, El Pastorino.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm still going to go with DJ Moore. But my first bet is going to be someone very near and dear to my heart. Everyone knows. Jalen Waddle. So he's over 3.5 receptions. It's at minus 190. Just put it up to 4.5, you shit fucks. Yeah, that's right. Hyphenated. And 48.5 for his receiving yards. That's at minus 115. Do a same game parlay, make it 4 catches and over 49.5 yards. That winds up at plus 120. Because through 3 games, I mean, the Colts have been complete ass. Like, they're just ass against the pass. How about that? They're the second worst team in coverage according to PFF. Colts aren't pressuring the quarterback at all either. So they should actually have time to throw the ball, which is nice. They've allowed the 7th most fantasy points to wide receivers so far. Colts are ripe to get ripped apart through 3 weeks. Waddle's usage has been not exactly what I expected. It's actually batshit fucking crazy. His targets have increased from 5 to 8 to 13. Last week he went 12 for 58. I don't understand how it even happens.
How does that happen? I don't know if that one's weirder or Laviska Shenault the other week getting 7 targets and -2 receiving yards. I don't know which one.
I think the 12 for 58 has to be because especially when you consider the type of player Jalen Waddle is. And it's just bonkers, but whatever. It's insanity. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to be shocked if he pops a big one tomorrow based on the fact that, yeah, you like how he pops a big one. Based on the fact that how he's been playing, I think they might be setting people up for it. The Colts are ripe for that. His longest reception is 19.5. But tell you the truth, his volume should be able to get 4 and 50 yards pretty easily, in my opinion. He's already beaten that twice. Was 2 yards away from that in week 2. All the boxes check out for him this week. Let's get some fucking Jalen Waddle in this house, man. We need you, Jalen. We need you. Come be a part of my flock, sir.
Yeah, actually, I had that one written down at the end of my notes to just touch on quickly. Excuse me. Just to wait for that number to go up to 4.5 because I really like that reception total. I think it's at minus 188 right now on FanDuel as well at 3.5. So
190. Yeah. But again, if you have a lot of money to play with, then I feel like that's really easy money.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that one a lot. And Indy's slot corner has seen Kenny Moore 16th most snaps, 16th most coverage snaps from the slot, has given up the second most catches, second most yards, and I want to say maybe the 8th highest passer rating when targeted as well. So obviously, Gesicki, Waddle, those are going to be the guys that are going to be getting that, especially from Bissett. So I do like that one, and that's definitely one to pay attention to. If you're not going to parlay it, just wait because that should hit 4.5 by tomorrow. I really don't see that.
They're trying to.
Yeah.
So what they're basically doing is they're trying to prevent anybody from taking it, and then they're just looking at that number, and then Fuck it. I guess we'll have to move it up because idiots like me will still just take. I'll put $200 on it just to win like $50 or something because it's a sure thing or whatever. And so if you have some kind of bankroll like that, then do it. Yes, it is.
That's right, Jinn. We cover all the bases here. Had to start it off exercising the demons.
I see he was a Jedi there. I'm sorry, and he thinks that a Jedi. He's on a fucking beach. He's a pile of rocks going out into the ocean. He's a Jedi, and he thinks I'm a Sith Lord. So this is fantastic. A Jedi. Great job, Tom. Good words.
A Jedi. That is fantastic, guys. I see we have a couple of questions in the chat. We'll get to them here at the end. Tom actually literally does have a wedding to reverendize tomorrow. Yeah. So we're gonna get through these props and then we'll hit a couple of those questions at the end. For my second prop, going back to the overs, I'm going Christian Kirk over 44.5 receiving yards. Kirk has actually hit this number in all 3 of the games so far, and he's done it on 5, 3, and 7 catches. So he's not like he has to get an insane amount of volume in order to be able to hit that. D-Hop potentially not fully healthy, potentially getting the Jalen Ramsey shadow treatment. I think Kirk will see enough targets, enough volume to pretty easily hit that 44.5. We both like Rondale Moore. We wanted him to be a thing, but he still can't seem to quite get the consistent target share and or snap share rather. So I don't really see him factoring in. And even if he does, we've seen Kirk perform alongside Rondale Moore as well. 54-point total in this game. The Rams are favored by 4.5. Arizona, it's not like Arizona is going to be trying to, run the ball and play ball control and clock control or anything like that away from the Rams. They're not going to be able to do anything with Edmonds and with Connor. So I think we see Kyler drop back early and often. His Christian Kirk's reception total is at 3.5. I like that as well, but I think the yards are just slightly safer. So Christian Kirk over 44.5 for the second prop.
Yeah, I never thought I would actually be saying that I like a Christian Kirk over prop after the last 2 years, but here we are. He's actually been playing some good football lately, and that's kind of refreshing because I drafted him on a ton of teams in which I still have him. So, all right, he's getting into starter territory, which is pretty nice. But yeah, that number again, he can hit that on one play. So that's the fun thing with some of these players like that, where they don't necessarily adjust it up to 60 because you don't know about the target share game plan that week because they have somebody like Rondale Moore. But yeah, no, I like it. We'll go into my second bet. I'm going to go against your fantastic Steelers secondary here. They've been playing awesome. Deontay, dude, fuck me 17 times right in the fucking mouth. That's all right. We're live. Devontae Adams over 7.5 receptions. That's at minus 135. So I don't really love the money, but I still think he smashes the Steelers. If you want to go yards, that's at 94.5, minus 115. Pittsburgh's given up the 5th most fantasy points to wide receiver so far. I think Adams going to inflate that number all by his damn lonesome. PFF backs that up. In fact, the Steelers are trash. Yeah, they are. They are the 4th worst team in coverage, Cody, right? I'm pretty sure you don't think they're very good. And, Adams has gone off after the last he's gone off in the last 2 weeks after that really weird week 1. I'm just throwing it out the window.
Throw that away.
Right. More of the same for Adams is coming this week. Just sit back, watch some greatness, win yourself some money, and also watch how bad Pittsburgh attempts to cover him.
Yeah, not worried about that. The secondary, potentially worried about Aaron Jones with his rushing because Watt and Highsmith are healthy. They still have a banged up D line. Looks like Stephon Tuitt is going to be out for the remainder of this season potentially. But the linebackers are healthy, so secondary wise, not worried about it.
One more thing, going back to that game. So Claypool's out. Deontay Johnson is going to be playing. His over-unders are 6.5 receptions for 66.5. I like that as well. I want to see how he performs first, coming off of the injury, but having Claypool out, he almost played last week. I think they were just being conservative with his health. So that's an intriguing one too. So if there's any sit questions on Deontay Johnson, I like him this week to play well. I just don't know about putting money down on a prop yet, but I do like him. I like those numbers.
Yeah, Juju interesting as well because of everything you were just saying. So for my last one here, I don't know if we've ever had a Monday night. I'm sure we have, but not one that I can remember. And this is also going to be like my last ticket out, right? Just holding out hope after all the Sunday games. Just it's not going to go bad. It's not going to go south because we're putting out positive.
When you're 2 for 2, you're going to be stressing.
Right. Going for that trifecta.
That's your world. That's your world.
That trifecta of perfection. Keeping it with the brand. This line, I really don't understand. This one does not make sense to me. Austin Eckler, over 37.5 receiving yards. I took the rushing yards last week. I think he fell 2 yards short. I also talked about liking the total. He hit that with his rushing and receiving, but I'm just going to look at.
I said I like the receiving.
I said I like the total. Yep. Didn't take the total. I took the rushing. The receiving hit. The total hit. The rushing did not.
It's funny with. I'm sorry to interrupt you. With some of these guys, and I'm going to talk about DeAndre Swift next. It's almost like you're better off just betting all of them, because three or four of them might hit.
Right. You're gonna come out ahead somehow, some way.
Right.
But yeah, Austin Eckler over 37.5 receiving yards. Now, if you look at what the Raiders have done defensively on the year, it looks pretty impressive. The Raiders are just one of 8 teams to give up fewer than 100 receiving yards to running backs. But if you look at who they've played, it's not like they've exactly faced a gauntlet of talented pass catchers coming out of the backfield. Week 1 was Tyson Williams, only had 3 catches, but he had close to 30 yards. Obviously, Baltimore just doesn't utilize their running backs in that way. Week 2, Najee actually hit them for over 40 yards, had the touchdown as well, had a big play to get that touchdown. I think Williams also had like a 20-something yard reception as well. And then last week, they had Myles Gaskin and Malcolm Brown. So it's not like they're out here facing DeAndre Swifts and Camaras and shutting those guys down and CMCs. We know Eckler is going to be way more involved than the backs I was just mentioning. Also way more talented in terms of his pass catching, his route running, all that stuff. So after Eckler did not get a single target in week 1, he's been targeted 15 times in the last 2 weeks. Again, like the Arizona game, we have a total of over 50. This one's sitting at 52. The spread is just 3.5. Herbert has an over-under on his passing yards of like 303 or 305, something like that. It's over 300. Eckler's reception prop rather is at 4.5, and those odds were sitting all the way down at like minus 160 or something. So it looks like he should be hitting over 4.5 targets, but you're telling me, over 4.5 catches, but you're telling me he can't hit 40 yards on those. So, and this one, again, if you have FanDuel available to you, this one's down to like 33.5, 34.5 on FanDuel. So if you can go over there and hit that one instead of the one on DraftKings, I love Eckler in this spot. He will not disappoint me. He is also a fantasy football guy, so there's no way this one goes south. Lock in Eckler this week.
Oh, lock him in. I like it. And in my notes, I sent you my notes of a bunch of guys I was looking at earlier. I had Austin Eckler. That was at 34.5, so that number went up a little bit. I still like it. Doesn't matter. I think he's going to roll. Kevin was told there'd be mustache rides and Tuggy, so here I am. Well, we blessed the show before you got here, so the Tuggies are done.
Holy water.
Right. So now we're just, whatever that is, use your imagination. That's perfectly fine. All right. So I said who was going to be next. I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift here. Bunch of numbers here. I'm going to give you 53.5 for his rushing, 35.5 for his receiving yards, but DK took that off of the board. So it's not currently there right now. It's on at other books though, so it's still at 35.5. 4.5 receptions and 96.5 rushing and receiving. Tough to pick because honestly, you look at it and you're like, okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. Yeah, okay, I like that. Exactly what we do with Eckler every week. So, like I said, maybe you want to pick a couple of them. So his low in receiving right now is 41 yards. I think I like the receiving yards the most out of everything, only by a pinch. I like the rushing and the receiving, so the combined number next. That's what I took, while the receiving yards were down. He's beaten that number in 2 out of his 3 games. Wasn't far off in the one he lost. I think it was only 6 yards or so. This is coming after the kneecap assassin himself, Dan Campbell, essentially came out and said, yo, this motherfucker is going to get more touches because he's healthy and shit. Know what I'm saying? That's what he said. It was just like that. It was quoted, and then he shot somebody in a kneecap. So I expect DeAndre to roll this week with more touches. And you know what? Fuck it. Let's lock it into DeAndre.
Let's go.
And I would go rushing and receiving there, just for the safety that he's going to get both, because he can go off through the air or hit a big run. So, I would go rushing and receiving there, especially while you can't get the receiving at DraftKings right now. So don't screw around. Get him.
36.5 receiving on FanDuel at -113
Okay. Yeah,
right now.
Good for me, baby.
All right, man.
We can do some questions. I'm good. It's still early. We're good.
Rico, if you are still rocking with us here, appreciate you being patient. Hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Bears D, Detroit D, Kansas City D, Miami D. Ew.
Probably Miami.
I'm on Burgundy
because the Lions play the Bears, right? I just blacked out. I didn't have anything. So I didn't have anything in there about the Bears, but they're like 11th in fantasy points or something along that for running backs or coverage or something along that. I forget what it was, but I think Detroit can put up some points against that defense. The Bears, I think Detroit, I don't know. Who knows what Justin Fields is going to look like. So I'm just going to go with Miami because Carson Wentz has looked like dog shit. There's no Quentin Nelson, but Jonathan Taylor is probably going to run the fuck all over him because I didn't take him in a prop this week, and it's Jonathan Taylor week. I forgot to mention it's Jonathan Taylor week, by the way. But I can't do it again.
Yeah. So you're not worried about the injury?
Which injury?
He is questionable.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor? No.
Yeah.
No. He'll be good. Did you have any additional props or anything you want to talk about before we roll into this?
The only other one was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I didn't want to go too on brand and pull this whole thing down. But I do like Clyde over 57.5 rushing yards going up against your Philadelphia Eagles in that defense after Matt Giraldi had a really nice stat in his DFS stack video. If you guys want to check that out, but he was just talking about the loss of Brandon Graham for you guys and the difference in your rush defense with him versus without him. Without Brandon Graham in the lineup, the Eagles are giving up like an extra almost 1.3. I think it was like 1.24 yards per carry. And then we saw what Dallas's run D did last week. And we have yet to see Kansas City really in control of a game. Obviously going into Philly, they are 7-point road favorites. So I think we could finally see a game where they're kind of in control a little bit more. We saw Clyde kind of start to look like the guy that we thought he was going to look like last week. 17 carries, 100 yards. He's had around that 14 mark. So as long as he can, be around 4 yards per carry and get that 14 to 15 carries, he should easily hit that over. So that was that was one I liked. And like I said, I was paying attention to the Waddle receiving number, hoping that bumped up to 4.5. outside of that, those were the main ones that I liked. And I think Nyheim Hines is interesting. Miami's run defense isn't great. So his I'm waiting. I didn't see a receiving yardage prop. I saw receiving total for him. That's going to be one that I will be paying attention to see whenever and if that number comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about Hines. I don't know. But I'm never sure about Hines because I'm a JT guy. So I'm always like, yeah, I don't know. I am going to stay on brand with one more. Atlanta and Washington. Bye, Cody. It's nice to meet you. Ridley is at 76. Yep. It was good. Ridley's at 76.5 receiving yards. McLaurin's at 77.5. Washington's allowed the second most fantasy points of wide receivers. Atlanta has no pass rush. I'm sorry. Atlanta has no pass rush. I think they're going to be fine there. So, you might see something similar to what, Daniel Jones did. Who knows? Fourth worst pass rush in the league. Ugh, gross. Atlanta is so blah in the secondary, so McLaurin should be able to go off. I'm going to probably do a same game parlay with Calvin Ridley and McLaurin and see what hits there. But I like this game, especially for those guys. I think Ridley finally snaps out of his, 5 for 56 at the half and then doesn't get another fucking catch and ruins my weekend kind of thing. Thanks, Dad. Love you. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, I think this is a get-right game. And I mean, McLaurin has obviously played well, but he had a bit of a down week last week. It was at the Buffalo matchup, I think.
He's going against Tre'Davious White, so that's
yeah. So I think he bounces back, and I think we finally see Ridley have a game that you were talking about. Walido's throwing out props for us.
McLaurin had a bad week last week, did he? Or was that 2 weeks ago? I thought he had like 30-some points.
I don't know.
I blacked out. Week? That might have been. Whatever. Last week is all a blur. We think everyone we liked did shitty.
Yeah. So anyway, Monty over 72.5 rushing yards. Do you like that one?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I'm not putting money on Montgomery yet until it's like later in the season and his schedule gets shitty again. No, I'm kidding. That was for Robbie. Yeah, I mean, based on what they did last time Justin Fields was out there, apparently they don't actually want to throw the ball. So he should have enough volume to get to that number.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Tyson Williams would easily hit his rushing total against Detroit last week. So I'm ignoring that for now.
I'm not putting money on that. Walido's been pretty damn good though. So he likes Brandon Cooks over 5.5 receptions as well.
There's no number that Brandon Cooks could have that Walido wouldn't like.
Right.
Let's be honest.
I did have Brandon Cooks in my notes. The 5.5 and the 70.5. I'm not sure if that number went up because I decided not to take them. Because after a little bit more quote unquote research, Buffalo's, pretty good against the pass. However, they don't have anything else to throw to. So taking Brandon Cooks on either the yardage or the receptions is a pretty safe bet, especially when you consider he's going to probably get 10 plus targets. So yeah, what do you think safer there, the 5.5 or the 70 yards?
The receptions.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
so
receptions for sure, especially with the Trey White treatment. Dude has been shut down for the past 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Do you have any positive thoughts for Lev Bell here from New Life?
Well, did he come out with a new rap album that's any good?
Not recently, I don't think so.
No, not really. You basically no, I didn't know if it was like hot fire or anything. I didn't know since I haven't seen him in a while. I figured he'd be working on something else, like other endeavors, since he's not footballing very much lately. So, can he really fall? That's the question, because I don't think he can.
That is a very good point. Being promoted from a practice squad is
he can either stay irrelevant or, contribute somehow. So I would bet at some point he does wind up contributing in the offense. However, good luck figuring out which week it's going to be.
Yeah.
So unless you own him in a best ball,
Triple Trey has a full PPR question here. Rondale Moore or Cordarrelle Patterson? This is the point that we are at. That Cordarrelle Patterson is actually a thing. Who do you like here between these two?
I'm probably going to go. I don't want to say Cora. I'm going to go Patterson because he's going to wind up getting touches, and especially like down near the red zone. They just get that asshole the ball. So Rondale Moore's usage is still up in the air from week to week. So Cordarrelle Patterson is a little bit safer there. I hate that I'm saying it because of how much I love Rondale, but at this point, he's really tough to trust.
Oh my God.
You're going to do it too, aren't you? It's dirty. Hold on, wait.
He has
this 14... house is clean. I bless myself. I'm good again.
And now it is filth. It is covered in absolute Cordarrelle Patterson shit stew.
Dude, you almost had fucking wine go all over the screen.
But I mean, dude, he's seen 14 opportunities in the past 2 weeks. Seven carries, 7 targets in back-to-back weeks. I wish this wasn't a question. I wish this wasn't a question.
True. I'm upset. It's all right. Can we get to a better? Yeah, that's
this
better.
One's going to come back
vibes.
to yes. Brian Hill, always rocking with us. Appreciate you, Brian. Robbie, you missed it, but we are going fully sterile here. Just white walls, nothing but white. Everything is clean. We have washed away the sins. That's why that there is nothing else around. Sterile room, cleanliness. It starts now.
There used to be water in this bottle.
All right. I have I get it. I see what you did there.
There we go. It took you a little bit.
Reverend Corson, I have answered this for Brian before. What do you think about a Najee Harris, Chris Carson trade?
Trade?
Yes. Would you give up Najee for Carson?
No, I'm sticking with Najee. Okay. And that's not really close. If we're talking weekly, then maybe Chris Carson this week against the 49ers, but can't do it. Especially when you see that dude go out there. What do you have, 19 targets last week?
Yeah.
Dude. Bruh.
Yeah, that's this is what I told him. That's a trade that doesn't make your team any better. That's just a lateral move. It doesn't really take you up. It doesn't take you down. Carson's probably safer on a week-to-week basis, but that's something that's not going to make a difference for your team in the long run. Emmanuel, always rocking with us, always supporting us. We appreciate you. Need 2 in the flex here. Sutton, Moss, Davis, Galladay. Obviously, the Giants going to be without Slayton and Shepard. Who do you like here?
Well, I'm going Galladay there as one. Davis is tough because of the line. I think they're going to go with throwing the ball a lot in Atlanta. So I guess by default, I'm going to wind up going Courtland Sutton because I dislike, maybe Zach. Give me a second. Who do you like? I gotta look at this. Possibly Moss. It could be, but the problem is you never know when it's going to be a Singletary week.
Over the past 2 weeks, I believe, or at least last week, Moss has started to, after being that surprise inactive week 1, Moss has started to take over a little bit. I'm going to go Moss with that matchup against
Houston.
Sutton makes me nervous in that matchup with New Orleans, with Lattimore.
New Orleans.
Isn't that? Oh, no.
Baltimore.
Galladay. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Sutton and Moss are my two. Sorry. Got those mixed up. I'm going Sutton and Moss there. Looks like the Godfather, Kevin Steele, is also on Sutton and Moss. Where did you end up landing there, Tomothy? What were your official two?
I think I'm gonna go Galladay and Sutton, just because they don't have anything else in New York. But that leads us to this one, because they don't have anything else. This is good transition there. That's right. I write papers. I do. I'm smart. Apparently, I'm a fucking idiot. 28.5 receiving. That's not too bad. I think we saw his best game. He looked the best last week. So I don't mind that at all, actually.
And then last one here from Walido Tommy. Are you taking the Tyreek over?
I am probably taking the Travis Kelce over.
I like Kelce as well. Do you like the receptions or do you like the yards?
So it's up to 94.5, which is just bonkers. But when you see Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin on one leg go for, I think, 94 yards last week, that makes it pretty tough to ignore. However, I mean, the Eagles secondary has not been horrible this year. So Tyreek, I could see them just bracketing him again and attempting to just shut him down, but you can only do it for so long. So if you're going to put money on it, I'm not going to do a ton of money. I got to see what his longest catch is, and maybe just take that. It's probably like 24 and a half. What do you think? Longest reception for Tyreek Hill this week is 25.5. I would take that.
There you go.
That's the one I'm taking. So yeah, I'm taking Tyreek.
Just the over on the longest reception. Yeah, Walido dropped this one in the Discord earlier. Just bonkers odds. I've literally never seen plus 23,900.
Just put $5 on it. It'll be fine.
Do we have any thoughts on Curtis Samuel this week?
I don't think you can trust him until you see how they're going to use him.
Yeah. That's where I'm sitting as well. I wasn't really looking for it, but I also did not see if there were any numbers for him. Did you come across any, Tom? I can pull this up here real quick on
I will look right now in that game.
There's nothing on FanDuel for his yards.
There's nothing on DraftKings either. So, 27.5 receiving yards.
God, that's like just enticing, enough.
It's like
I can't.
That's a bear trap. Go ahead, have an apple. Boop. Dead.
All right, last one here. Then we'll let you get on your merry way. Tom, Manuel wants to know: would you bench Pitts and pick up Dawson Knox?
No, not in this game either, because Washington hasn't been great. So I'm just gonna go. No, you gotta ride him right now. You can pick up Dawson Knox, but I'm not starting Dawson Knox over Pitts. I don't think picking him up is a bad move at all. Pick him up. If Pitts doesn't wind up coming through, then that's fine. It's just the expectations for Kyle Pitts to immediately be a top 4 tight end. And we talked about this early in the season or before the season. It's really tough, man. And the argument is, he's going to be used as a wide receiver. Well, I mean, yes and no. He's still got to know. In that case, he's got to know the X spot because he's not, a Y or a Z. And then he's got to know all the tight ends and the slot stuff and everything else. So it is what it is, man. So slow start or not, you gotta you got to roll with him right now. Dawson Knox, if he puts up another really good week, then that's fine. But that's tough.
Yeah, we've seen the flashes already. Week
Right.
2, I think Pitts had 5 for 73. I think week 2, so like that's there. They have nothing else. Russell Gage is out again. Like if they can scheme up things for Cordero Patterson, they can scheme shit up for Kyle Pitts too. Like I would be absolutely kicking myself if I bench Pitts and put in Dawson Knox. And I think Knox has been running a bunch of routes, but it's not like he's been seeing a bunch of volume. I mean, through the first 3 weeks, 4, 3, and 5 targets. Like Knox just in the tight ends just hasn't been a very reliable or consistent position for Josh Allen, this Buffalo offense, since they really started to turn things around. So I just keep it with Pitts. There's really nothing else you can do at this point. You obviously spend like a top 6 round pick on him. It is what it is, but they literally have nothing else. His time will come. You have a much better chance of a spike week with Kyle Pitts, in my opinion, than you do with Dawson Knox, just because of how much how many receivers that they roll out there. Got a random question here from Kev, since Raylan is not with us. Favorite holiday side dish? Christmas or Thanksgiving?
So this is a good one. So Christmas, though, is there a traditional meal for Christmas? Because I feel like it's different everywhere you go.
Yeah, that one is different.
Right. But Thanksgiving, man, we do Thanksgiving in my house, and I make some mean mashed potatoes, and then I make some mean stuffing. My wife makes the stuffing. I can't take credit for that, but we do that all from scratch and stuff like that. I smoke a turkey, and then I make my own gravy based off of that. So all the side dishes just get gravy poured all over it, and it's delicious. So I side dish, I guess it's just stuffing and mashed potato. I'm boring. And again, I don't like yams and all that. Dude, I don't even like pumpkin pie. I'm a weirdo.
What?
I don't really like sweets that much, man.
Oh my god. I mean, mine is definitely...
Sweets don't go well with alcohol most of the time. Is alcohol a side dish?
You just sound like such a bitch.
Huh? Sweets don't go well with my wine.
I didn't say wine.
That's what you always drink. You're a wine guy.
On the show, because I don't want to be a blabbering fucknut.
Too late for that. Side dish, love stuffing. I see. Really? I see Tana has the question there, asking Kev how he feels about stuffing. Love stuffing. Kev has probably never had good stuffing. It's probably like stovetop bullshit instant stuffing. If you gotta make good stuffing is hard to beat. My mom used to make it from scratch with the breadcrumbs and the yolks and all that stuff and the seasonings and stuffing it in the bird, letting it all cook. Good. Yeah,
I'm trying to get
5 in the morning.
So I'm trying to get my wife to let me smoke the stuffing one year. Because I smoke a lot out of I smoke the turkey already and just throw the stuffing in and just let it go. But pineapple stuffing, I will say pineapple stuffing. Have you ever had it?
I've not. Interesting.
Oh, Easter. So on Easter ham, traditional, right? Pineapple stuffing and ham. Holy woo-wee. Yeah, that's a good one.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm like a sweet potato casserole kind of guy with you get the crunchy stuff in there too. Sweet potato casserole is my go-to. Is
mac and cheese I guess mac and cheese is more for Christmas, right?
I'll tell you what.
You can't beat a great mac and cheese, man.
I went to a barbecue joint down here in North Carolina. Got some barbecue baked beans. Got some mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Bomb. So good. Brisket.
Did you get some Was there bacon in there?
There was not.
Oh. But it was, wait, which place you go to, man?
It was called the Smoke Pit.
I may have been there.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like off to the side.
I think I
back in.
Yeah, no, I think I may have been there, man. I
Yeah,
went to
dude,
one in Georgia that was a gas. It was a redone gas station, and they kept everything. Like the gas pumps are out there and everything.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that place was awesome.
All right, a couple more here, and we will close this out. Tan wants to know, with Gronk out, do you think AB will have wide receiver 2/flex value?
I like AB this week. Going back to New England, I think Brady's just gonna fucking go ham. It doesn't necessarily matter. And yeah, especially with Gronk being out, you're gonna see somebody has to dominate the middle of the field, and I think that's gonna wind up going more to Antonio than Godwin or Evans. So yeah, and it depends on who you're starting him over as well, obviously. But Antonio Brown is a little bit more volatile. So if you need safety, I'm not necessarily saying, yeah, do that. But yeah, I like Antonio Brown this week.
Yeah, I think he has wide receiver 2 upside.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like flex is kind of like that range that I would keep him in, like you said, because he is volatile. He really doesn't run as many routes or have it play as many snaps, at least through the first 2 weeks, versus Evans and Godwin. He was down, I think, week 1, like 60% of the snaps, and I think week 2 he was around I think he was under 50% of the snaps. So a little more volatile, but he definitely has the upside. Chosen Rose needs 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Wide receiver, I guess you could start Cordero Patterson, your wide receiver spot. Corey Davis, Tim Patrick, Christian Kirk, Manny Sanders.
I'm going to go Kirk for the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And man, am I really going to go Manny Sanders?
That's
and
what
Christian Kirk? Yeah, I think I am.
We can't possibly say Cordero Patterson twice in the same show, right?
I mean,
I don't think that's legally
allowed. Do you want
allowed.
me to bless the show all over again?
Because I do think
at this point, we're just go ahead.
Give me CPAT, give me CPAT, and give me Christian Kirk. Just because I think over Manny Sanders, his touches anyway have been more dependable than Emmanuel over the past couple of weeks. Although Emmanuel Sanders is definitely trending up. Give me CPAT there. Give me Kirk. Give me CPAT. But I do like Manny as well. Woods or Patterson. I'm going to go Woods there. I think we get a bounce back Woods game. Let's see. Would we play Melvin Gordon over AB? Walido answered that. Absolutely not. We agree. We appreciate you guys. Lock in your props. Please hit us with a subscribe if you have yet to do so. Give us a like as well. We will be live tomorrow morning. Robbie, myself, maybe a third wheel. Kev is doing baseball stuff. Reverend Corson is going to be out there blessing families, blessing new beginnings. So we had an exorcism tonight. We have new beginnings with the wedding tomorrow. We appreciate you guys. Make some money. Get those dubs. Let's go.